Chelsea Football Club need to get Mauricio Pochettino lying lessons. Step number 1 for free of charge, Mauricio. When you lie, make sure it can't be fact checked. And in this case, you lied horribly and it makes you look terrible. Welcome to the Kavkas View. Today we're going to look at Chelsea versus Fulham, the preview, break down the press conference where we see Mauricio Pochettino publicly lying and saying Moses Caicedo said something to him when he really didn't, because if he did, he's lying. So one of you's lying. We get an update on the injury news. I'm going to say a few things about Christopher Nkunku's injury that are going to be a few hard truths, because the reality is at this moment in time, he has been a shocking signing. Not because he's a bad player, not because I don't rate him, but because he hasn't been on the pitch. We'll get an update on that. We get some positive news from Carney Chukwuemeka, how they've changed his mechanics. We hear that Ben Chilwell, Badiashile and Sanchez are back in training. And more importantly, we get to see what's going to happen with Fofana and Ian Maatsen's Here We Go. It's a jam-packed video. We are going to talk about it. We're going to break it down in nice detail. You're going to enjoy it, so you're just going to have to do the red, right? Firstly, hit the like button. We need to aim for 1,000 likes. Yesterday's video, we almost did it. Thank you very much. And today, you're going to have to subscribe, because subscribing is the best way of doing it, and still 55% of you, man, are not doing it. So support the cause, hit that button, and let's move on with the story. Mauricio was asked straight away from the back what is going on with the team news, and we're going to be very positive, all right? We're going to talk about the fact that Benoit Badiashile is back in full training. He is in contention to make the bench, and this is somebody that they're going to have to ease back in. I think this is phenomenal news. You all know that I believe he is one of our best centre-halves. I think with game time, with development, he could become a colossal defender for Chelsea Football Club. Welcome back. Number 2, Ben Chilwell looks back to be in full training. There are reports coming out and Pochettino confirms that this gentleman is back in full training and ready to go. I think his experience will be integral in the team. I call him Basic Ben, but at this moment in time, I just need a left back that can do basics. Number 3, Carney Chukwuemeka's back in first team training as well. There's been a lot of hype around this player, and we found out on the London is Blue podcast, he is currently changing, or has had to change the way he runs. His mechanics had to be adjusted purely based on the fact that he was going to keep getting injured. One thing I will say about Carney, he is a unicorn. That's the easiest way to put it. You know the way Kristaps Porzingis was called the original unicorn because of the stuff that he could do at his size? Carney is that in football. He's like 6'3", 6'4". He's got twinkle-toe ballerina feet. He is gliding like he's 5'7", and he is uber strong and uber comfortable on the ball. For me, this was always going to happen. So the fact that we found this early, we're going to coach him, we're going to try to train him, and we're going to develop him, excellent news. Then there's the Robert Sanchez news. So the good news keeps coming back, right? Sanchez saw a specialist on Monday. Specialist said it's recovering perfectly. Now it's about him getting back onto the pitch, running around and seeing if his knee flares up. As of this moment, the knee is not flaring up. Pochettino said it is very positive news. They're just going to keep an eye on him and see how it recovers. We got Petrovic. There's no problem. No need to rush. But this is Chelsea football. And with Chelsea Football Club, negativity is just around the corner. Christopher Nkunku hasn't been in training for 10 days, confirms Mauricio Pochettino. And a quote, I am worried. Big man, I'm worried too. Because this is why I said at the start of the summer, we needed to acquire another forward. But that is old news, no point revisiting the old because we can't change it. But the reality is he's injured again. One thing we have to say is he is injury prone, and in my opinion, there needs to be a replacement purchased for Christopher Nkunku in the summer. People are going to say, Alex, what are you talking about? He's still amazing. He should be a guaranteed starter. He can't be a guaranteed starter because he's injury prone. And a lot of you are going to say, why is he injury prone? It's only been this season. It hasn't. Ever since he signed on that dotted line, it's like he made a deal to consistently get injured. Number 1, wrist injury. Then, before the World Cup, a knee injury. Then he came back, started Bundesliga really well, another injury. Comes to Chelsea, knee injury. Comes to Chelsea now, hip injury. Apparently he's got an inflamed hip. I never even knew that was possible. Like, we are defeating the laws of physics for how many injuries there could be in one go. The reality is, Pochettino's worried, I'm worried, you should be worried, and I think we should just stop counting on Nkunku. There's this narrative that he's going to come back, he's going to save us. Well, when Nkunku's back, Nkunku's not coming back. The way we need to look at Christopher Nkunku is the way that I've learned to look at Wesley Fofana. Wesley Fofana and Romeo Lavia don't exist to me. They're not Chelsea Football Club players because they don't play for us. And if I live in hope of them two coming back consistently, I'm just going to be very upset all the time. So I'm doing the same thing again until Christopher Nkunku comes back and plays 5 games in a row. I'm not getting excited about the possibility of Christopher Nkunku coming back. Because what is the point of getting excited for a player that can't stay fit for a consistent period of time? We need to manage him, we need to find him a replacement, and we need to move from there. That's my personal opinion. In the comments, let me know, am I being unfair? Now we need to talk about the little porkies, because look, one thing we are going to say is Mauricio Pochettino is under a severe amount of pressure. And I don't know about you, man, but when I'm under pressure, I want to end the conversation as quick as possible when I'm questioned about what I'm under pressure on, or I ramble. So it's one of the two, like depending on how much pressure I'm on. And with Pochettino, look, it must be difficult to go into a press conference on a weekly basis, know that your team is not performing, and have to answer the scrutiny of the media questions. And at this moment in time, they said Chelsea didn't play well, and he was like, good performance. You know, this guy loves his good performance. It's a good performance. Guys, it's a good performance. Consistently good performance. No matter how we play, good performance. In this case, it wasn't a good performance. It was a bad one, in my opinion. The chances we created was one from brilliant ingenuity from us. The rest were unforced errors. They played poorly. We put them under a little bit of pressure with a press, which I call press hesitantly. And other than that, we made chances. Second half was preposterous. Absolutely preposterous. So I don't know what Pochettino's saying. But this is where the lie comes. He says, it's a difficult game. Other Premier League clubs have went there. They've struggled. It's Middlesbrough. And for me, end it there, Poch. He goes, no. Moises Caicedo told me that even with Brighton, when they played against them, we lost. And it wasn't a good performance. Like, we struggled. Big man. The internet facts checks. Last time Moises Caicedo played against them, last year, they won 5-1. I don't know how difficult the performance must have been to win 5-1. Because the reality is, Caicedo wouldn't have said that. And if he did, big man, you just cost your manager a big lump of shame. A big amount of shame. Like you got a bowl, you put the shame in there, and you said, eat it. And now guess who has to deal with the ramifications? Mauricio Pochettino. Is it the end of the world? It's not. But you know what it's done is, there's a fire, let's dash some gasoline on it. Because that's what we just done. Because now fans are like, oh my God, he's lying to protect himself. And it's just a big mess. It really is. We need to win tomorrow to shut everyone up, really. Then Pochettino was asked about his controversy at the end of the game. Because players like Thiago Silva went up to the fans, and Thiago Silva was getting a lot of applause from the fans. I think there's an understanding that Thiago's not the problem in this team, and I really respect that from the match-going fans. But Maurizio was like, well, there was some problems between Burrow's fans and our fans. Mate, you're lying. That's not true, because I know people that went to the game. I've spoken to people that went to the game. They've all said to me there was no problems with the Borough fans whatsoever. They were booing the players, and Pochettino can try to avoid it as much as he wants because he doesn't want that narrative to build that he's lost a fan. But Poch out has been trending for a while. I'm not saying Twitter is the great barometer of how fans feel, but from my channel, from other people's channels that I've been listening to or talking to, or individuals that I know that aren't on the internet sphere, it is very common that at this moment in time, people believe Pochettino should be out of it. So if match-going fans who pay money on a regular basis to go watch these games, I think they're going to feel like they got a little short end of the stick. So let's be honest. But other than that, he also spoke about was coming back, about Thiago Silva. He said he has no decision, comment to make because it's between the player and the club. Guys, Poch is a lame duck when it comes to making transfer decisions. If he was, Gallagher would have had a new 5-year deal. I think he would have kept Thiago Silva. So there's no point of even asking him. Like, he's been very hesitant and very coy with his answers, and there's a reason for it. The final piece of news now, away from the press conference, is that we need to see what's going on at Chelsea. Well, there's been a here we go for two different players. Number one, Ian Maatsen is officially on loan and has signed a new deal till 2026 with an option. This player will be going to Dortmund and hopefully generating some revenue for Chelsea in the future by having great performances and just uplifting his status. And if he's even good enough, we bring him back to the club, give him a new deal, get that little release clause out of his contract. Hopefully that is the case of what Chelsea are going to do. Hopefully he smashes it. Him and Jadon Sancho on that left wing, beautiful. But how did this deal come about? The reason it came about is because Chelsea got Fofana back to Chelsea and straight away to Burnley. We got a here we go from Fabrizio Romano regarding Fofana. A lot of people are going to say, this is a bad move. He went from a Champions League team to Burnley. I think this is a good move. And the reason why I think this is a good move, I'm not saying he's going to go there and smash it. I'm saying we're going to see him under the microscope. We're going to see how good this player is. He's going to have at least 18 games to break into that Burnley team, smash it. And you know how the Premier League is. If he gets around about 6 to 7 goals for Burnley this year, you know, all of a sudden a 1 in 3 rate in the Premier League, for like 9 million will treble to 24, 25 million real quick. And there'll be other clubs that will try and get him. And what I hope will happen, because I don't think Fofana is going to have a career at Chelsea, I hope smashes us there to the point where Burnley just ring up Chelsea in the summer and say, oh, you know that 35 million for Maatsen? Hold that, give us Fofana. And I hope that happens, and I hope this is what works out. It'll be best for the player, best for the club, and best for Burnley. And for me, at this moment in time, I really hope he just can regain his career and just get back on the right trajectory. But other than that, guys, this is the Chelsea news. There will be a match review tomorrow. Make sure you hit the bell notification and subscribe, because usually reviews aren't doing as great as these videos are. I don't know why. In the comments, let me know, because if you man made it this far, reality is you enjoy my content well. So let me know in the comments below. Do you watch reviews? If you do, put a pineapple. And that's a great way of giving me a good indicator that you do. Peace out. I'm out. Have a lovely day.